share with us a little bit about the backstory of this branch office concept? Because I think for most people that are going to a trade show and they're going to be exhibiting,
Yeah,
they're thinking, I just need a booth. But
right.
where did this come up with?
I think that's a great point. So many people that we sit with, even the ones that are smart and strategic, Khalil, that know, I'm going to have to do some marketing beforehand, and but everybody loves to dive into the booth part, and they're really, gosh, how do I, people are always, well, my budget is this, and they think all of that money is going to that visual exhibit, that backdrop that's going to, be cool and fun to work on. And they just were blown away by a lot. I'm sure listeners right now, blown away by what to be a lot of those behind the scenes costs of participating in trade shows. So, um, moving into that first office, it reminded me you don't just get a booth when you're going to show. You really are opening up a branch office for 3 or 4 days if you're going to the National Association of Broadcasters show or the CES show or the PGA Golf Merchandising show or whatever your industry shows are. You're opening up a branch office for 3 days. And just like a real office, you have to think about all the things like, um, you know, what show am I going to go to? What is the audience? What's the location? Right? If I were offering you an office somewhere in Dallas, Texas, well, based on your product and services, would you want to be in the manufacturing area of the city? Do you want to be in the high tech area? If it's an educational product, is there sort of an academic and educational area? Is there a medical city kind of an area? And we all know what that looks like in the towns we live in and often shows are like that. So you think about what show with the right audience am I going to be? And then what size office do I need? What's the space selection? Where do I put it? And how much do I need? We know a 10 by 10 is 100 square feet, and that feels tiny on the show floor with in that mall of business activity that's going on for 3 days. So, I love the analogy, Khalil, because if I'm giving you that office and you look at the brand new shell of a building and it's bare concrete, which is exactly what a convention floor is before you
Yeah.
get there, you have to think about what are my electrical requirements? What are my internet? Are there hard Cat 5 lines that I need? How about phone? Or do I need charging stations for the cell phones, either for my visitors or for us? What about do I need a place to greet people? Do I need conversation area? Do I need private conversation area? Am I going to be telling my story by demonstrating product? Do I need kind of a showroomy product showcase area? Am I just going to be educating the public about something? How do I move traffic through the office? So I think when if an exhibitor can think like that, you're going to be reminded um, exactly what you have to be thinking about budget for in a lot of logistics.
Well, and I love what you've told me this many times, but a lot of people think they're just going to get a booth for a show.
Yeah,
But why are they, what's the whole objective of going to the conference in the first place? It has to be
exactly.
at the forefront, at the heart of it, right?
Yeah. Almost 85% of people that participate as exhibitors at shows say the reason they go is to get qualified leads. Everybody says, well, not everybody, but so many people go, well, we're there to make sales. Do you actually make sales in the booth? Do you get checks and write orders? And there are some shows that dealers will come to the big industry show and they will place orders for the
Yeah.
year or for the quarter. And you know what? That's a fun thing to do. And it changes the design of the office because we might need closing tables or closing rooms. But for the most of us, we don't get to do that. What we're really trying to do is get 6 or 8 pieces of information in that 3 to 10 minute window that we're going to be able to use to follow up and follow through in a
Mhm.
way that is accelerates the sales cycle for us. And when done correctly, poll results have shown, Khalil, when done correctly, it is the most cost-effective way to market your products or services. The average qualified trade show lead, not business card, right? That's a contact. That's not a lead. The average qualified lead takes less than one sales call after a show to close on a commitment to do business together. I think the
Mm.
average cold calling, and I'm not even sure if that's it. I don't have a recent statistic, but the last one I heard was 4.1 sales calls in order to get a deal closed versus less than one with a qualified trade show lead. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure you're in front of the right audience, and that's where you choose the right show. We want to make sure you're in a good location, so you're going to be seen. By the way, I am not a fan. Are you just going to rely? So I'm giving you that office in Dallas, Khalil. Can you survive off of drive-by business, or do you have to let people know you're there? So I know in my business, I've been in locations where we're in a manufacturing area and it's not drive-by. I've been on a main road with 25,000 cars a day, and when the company name was up there, it had the word exhibit in it. People would literally walk in during show season, and one of my offices is just a mile from the convention center in Orlando, Florida, right? So there's always people that were popping in, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, it wasn't the kind of work we typically wanted. When they go, "Hey, we need some grid wall." Well, those are $35 a sheet for a 2x8 sheet. Why so expensive? And you go, okay. You go,
Yeah.
oh.
This is the talent show at school that you're
But I think it's cool to jump in on the design and the building of the thing that's
Yeah.
going to make your company look great. But you also have to think about, the ground preparation and the staffing and how many we'll have and where do people sit and coats and purses being stored and do we have giveaway items? Anyway, all that good stuff.